Some researchers disclosed an attack that allows you to clone YubiKeys. YubiKeys are kind of the gold standard of hardware physical security authentication keys. It requires physical access to the key, as you'd imagine, for cloning. It requires over $10,000 in equipment, and it requires you to disassemble and reassemble the YubiKey.
We may say, yeah, this is a stunt hack or whatnot, but this could open the door to more impressive research.
Yeah. Another thing that Char mentioned in chat was these Infineon chips are used in more than just YubiKeys. They're also used in cryptocurrency wallets.
You can't upgrade the firmware. If you are that concerned about it that you want to fix the problem, you have to buy all new YubiKeys.
I don't think you need to go like panic and recall all of them and immediately upgrade, unless you're like the NSA or the FBI.
Right.
And then in the future, you probably shouldn't be rolling out vulnerable YubiKeys. You should probably cut new deployments until you can get your hands on some new ones.
The California AI bill did pass. They wanted the ability to screen for potential cybersecurity risks or infrastructure risks in the AI models. They also wanted a mechanism to basically pull the plug. Is there a way to quickly and fully shut down the model?
Is there just going to be a compliance document that says, in the event of an emergency, we'll run the command shut down now on the web server? The chiefs, the commanders of the ship, installed Starlink and secretly put it on top of the ship. Why don't Navy ships have internet?
Is it worth like degrading the OPSEC of the entire ship in order to just get Wi-Fi and
so you could be on Reddit
like that? Yeah.
So it's about, the Navy being able to control what information is coming and leaving on the ship.
Who owns Starlink and what do they think about the current war in Ukraine?
Yeah.
And would they be able to know where this Starlink satellite is?
Apparently the TSA is vulnerable to SQL injection. Researchers say a bug let them add fake pilots to rosters used for TSA checks. They found a third-party website that the TSA uses called Flycast. SQL map was used to add the username of tick or 1=1. Basically, they SQL injected their way into an admin of Air Transport International account. I guess it's the airline industry. They're notorious for having tech debt up the wazoo.
It didn't affect anything like your Americans, your Deltas, your Uniteds, because they use their own systems.
Durex is a company that makes contraceptive products. I didn't really think anyone was buying those directly from the manufacturer, but apparently they are. And this could be a really embarrassing data breach used for a lot of really bad blackmail situations. Planned Parenthood could be pretty bad too. Now their data is breached.
In some rural parts of the United States, you don't have access to doctors or nurses. And in the event of an STD or getting pregnant, Planned Parenthood may be your only healthcare option. We've got a lot of conversations happening in our country right now about teenagers, young people giving consent on their gender and their sexuality. This Planned Parenthood data breach kind of stirs the pot on that whole conversation as well.
Let's talk about the city of Columbus. They sued a researcher who disclosed the impact of a ransomware attack. Basically, a researcher named David Leroy Ross or Connor Goodwolf started telling local media that they were downplaying the attack.
The city of Columbus was saying that the attackers had stole corrupted and encrypted data, and Ross turned around and said, no, it in fact was names and social security numbers and other types of sensitive data.
Personal information of police officers, reports arrest records.
I think the funniest line on it was that Columbus claimed that although shared publicly, the information on Resita's site was only accessible to individuals who have computer expertise and tools necessary to download data from the dark web.
If that's illegal, I've committed a lot of crimes because these sites are they just have a bunch of download buttons and they don't require any technical expertise to access. It's pretty much just a site that says, click the button to download the data. Obviously, they had bad security posture to begin with because they got ransomware.
Right.
2, they have bad forensics or investigating after the fact of what was taken, what formats were taken. And 3, they have bad PR of trying to silence someone for talking about a very public issue. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, of course, but there are some DOJ documents about like this type of information, like open source intelligence data. Being able to look for your own data in breaches is totally allowed.
Join us for live InfoSec news every Monday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Black Hills InfoSec YouTube channel.